Hi y'all, welcome to my channel BK World TV. Today we will be continuing the build on Agora models Aston Martin DB5 from the 007 series, stages 16 through 23. So as you can see here, today we'll be continuing the build on Agora models Aston Martin DB5 from the 007 series, stages 16 through 23. So as you can see, these are all the parts for stages 16 through 23. I was going to actually I was going to release this video last week, make the video and release it last week, but due to some issues with the actually the shipping, I realized that they sent me pack 4 instead of pack 3, so I couldn't do the pack 3 video until this week. So that's why I'm there's been a slight delay to this. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started with pack 3, and then probably we'll do pack 4 maybe later down in a few weeks in this month. But anyways, let's get started with pack 3. So here in stage 16, we'll be attaching the right engine block over to the rest of the engine here. So I'll be adding this part here to the block. So let's go ahead and get started. So for the first part, we will be attaching the oil pan mount here to the right engine block over here. So basically, the oil pan mount will go into these two holes right in here. So the one with the taller pillar mount over here will go to the left side. So just go in like that, and then we will secure that in place with 2 DS25 screws. So once the screws are in place, we'll go ahead and tighten them. The right side of the engine block is also metal. Same thing as the left side when we attached the engine block in the previous builds. But the the black mount here is plastic. So just to let you know. So now that the oil pan mount is installed, we will go ahead and install the right side of the engine block over to the rest of the engine. So basically, the engine block will go in this direction. So basically, this side is the top, and then this side is the bottom. So the top part of the screw mounts are closer together than the bottom. So we'll just go in just like that. You just make sure you fit it in place. Just like that. So as you can see, now both sides of the engine block is now in place, and then we will be securing that with 4 DS01 screws. So let's go ahead and screw those in. So now that the right engine block is in place, I'll go ahead and make sure that it is all tightly secured. So just tighten the screws up a little bit, make sure. And then that is basically it for stage 16. Just one note per the instructions. It says to actually move the belt over to the smaller pulley here. Don't remember whether the instructions made a mistake or I made a mistake. I don't remember, but it does say to double check make sure the belt is on the correct pulley. So we'll just adjust that part there. So that is it for stage 16. So we'll move on to stage 17. So here in stage 17, we will be attaching the fan here, this bright orange reddish fan, as well as installing the oil pump and the pipes for it. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing, in this stage, we will be attaching the oil pump. So for the oil pump, as you can see, there's 3 holes there. The middle hole is where the screw will go to secure the oil pump. So we'll go ahead and get the oil pump here. And then the other, I believe the hole on the left side, so the one further into the engine, there's a bigger diameter pin for the oil pump. So the oil pump basically goes in only in one direction, so you can't make a mistake. So we'll go ahead and put that into the hole. So as you can see, we put the oil pump in, so we'll be securing that in place with one PS20 screw. So go ahead and screw that in from the other side. So now that we have it screwed in, we'll just double check. Make sure the screw is tight. And there we have now the oil pump installed. So next what we're going to do is that we're going to attach the right oil pipe, which is this one here, the smaller one. This is I believe the left oil pipe, so the smaller oil pipe, we'll be attaching that to the engine. So we'll go ahead and flip it over to the right side of the engine block. So basically this notch right here is going to go into the center hole right there. So we'll go ahead and put that in, just like that. And then if we zoom in more closely, as you can see, there's a oil pipe that we installed I think in the earlier packs. So basically we'll be attaching the two pieces together. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. Just like that. Then just make sure they go in together. So we'll go ahead and push those pieces in together. Those oil pipes are plastic, so just make sure you don't break it if you're putting it in together. It can bend a little bit. So now that we have the oil pipe installed, and then now we will be taking the left oil pipe here, and then we will be securing that in place as well. So we'll go ahead and flip it over to the other side. And then basically this oil pipe here, it's going to go, I believe, in this direction. So basically the oil pipe on the top is going to connect to the oil filter with using this one, this piece. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. There we go. And then just make sure it's in place. So now that we have the oil pipe installed, next we're going to be attaching the last oil pipe, which is the front one here. So basically in the front, there's the hole right there at the top, and then it's going to be attaching to the hole right above the belt right there. We'll go ahead and do that. Front head here, this will be will attach to the front side of the front part of the engine. It's going to go in like that, so we're going to go ahead and secure from the other side first, and then just put that in place. Then now we have all the oil pipes installed on the engine. So next we will be attaching this fan right here. So we're going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. I want to set the engine down. So basically as you can see, the fan, the front of the fan is the flat side, and then where there's the socket, that will go right into the front of the top pulley right over there. So basically it's gonna get attached right just like that, and then we'll be securing that in place with one PS20 screw. So we'll go ahead and do that. So you guys could see, we'll just this right over to the top. And then we will screw that in. And there we have the fan installed now. So that is it for stage 17. So in stage 18, we will be installing the oil pan as well as the oil distribution pipe. So this is the pipe, and then that's the pan. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll be bringing the engine back over here, and then we'll be now looking at the right side of the engine. So we'll be installing the oil distribution pipe. So basically, for the oil distribution pipe, the right side or the front side will be this piece of the longer black portion. So it's gonna go in this direction, and then basically it will fit right over these 3 holes. If we zoom in just a little bit more, you can probably see better. So basically it go in right over these holes, and actually it only goes in one direction because the front hole is larger for the larger pin right there at the front. So we'll go ahead and put that in just like that. So just like that, we now have the oil distribution pipe installed. So next we will be taking this oil pan. So let's zoom out for you guys. So basically we'll be installing the oil pan here on the bottom. So the larger side obviously will go to the back. So it'll basically attach like that. The front side will just clip in, but then we'll be first, and then we'll be securing that in place with 2 PS20 screws. So let's go ahead and screw that in now. So now that the screws are in, we'll go ahead and tighten it up. Don't tighten it too much because the oil pan is plastic. It's going up against the metal engine block at the top. So now that we have the oil pan installed, that is it for stage 18. So far the engine is looking really nice. You got all the fans and all the other components together, so it's looking very nice. It's also a little bit heavy now as well, but definitely looking forward to how this is going to look. But anyways, we will now proceed to the next stage. So here we have stage 19, so let's go ahead and open up the box for this stage. I believe it has the front part of the chassis as well as the oil pipe for the engine. So let's go ahead and open both up. So as you can see, we got the chassis here. This chassis is all metal, so it's nice and sturdy. And then you have the oil pipe. But basically for stage 19, it's very straightforward. We're gonna set the chassis aside actually, and we will be just only installing this oil pipe or the distribution pipe over on the engine, and that's basically it. So let's go ahead and just install the pipe now. So basically we'll be installing the pipe on the front of the engine here. So if we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see better. So basically there are 3 pins, you could say, that will secure to the engine block, so they'll be secured into 3 different places. So basically it's gonna go in just like this, right behind the fan. So the first portion, there's a small hole right there, right behind the fan. That's where this black piece will go. And the small pin will go into the other distribution pipe on the right side here, and then the last piece will go into the back. We'll get a tweezer out to secure that in place. That's right there. Just like that. And that is it for stage 19. So very straightforward stage. So here in stage 20, we will be installing the suspension mounts, which are these ones here, over to the front of the chassis piece that we got in the previous stage that we didn't use. So that's basically it. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we have the chassis piece right here, the front chassis piece. So basically the one with the cross arms here, support arms here, will be facing downwards. And then we will be taking the suspension mounts right here. I believe, yeah, these are all marked left and right. So we will be taking the left suspension mount, which is this one here. And then we'll be securing that in place right just like that with 3 DS02 screws. So let's go ahead and screw that in. So as you can see, the suspension mounts are in, so we'll go ahead and tighten the screws, but don't tighten it too much as the mounts are plastic. The chassis itself is metal, but the mounts are plastic, so go ahead and tighten it up. So as you can see, we've installed the left side of the suspension mount. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the right side. So we'll slide that right into that mount area there, and then we'll be securing that again using 3 DS02 screws. So as you can see, the screws are in, so we'll go ahead and tighten these screws up. And now there you have the suspension mounts installed to the front chassis on both sides. So that is basically it for stage 20. So here we are in stage 21, and in this stage we will be attaching the front chassis over to the middle chassis. So we'll go ahead and open up the middle chassis that's in this box here. So this middle chassis is also metal, as you can see. Right there, it's a nice black metal plating right here, nice and sturdy. So we will be attaching that to the front of the chassis right there. So basically the chassis will go in, it's facing this way. This side is up, and then we will be securing just like that, and then using actually 4 DS02 screws. So the 4 screws will attach just right there. So let's go ahead and screw those in. So now that we have these screws in, we'll go ahead and tighten the screws, double check, make sure it's all nice and secured. So now we have the front and the middle chassis attached together. That is it for stage 21. So in stage 22, we will be building the right wheel hub here, and as well as installing the upper right control arm. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we have the brake disc here, and then we will be installing the right wheel hub which is this piece right here. The brake disc is plastic, but I believe the wheel hub is metal, and then we'll just be inserting the wheel hub right in there, just like that. So the hole on this side will be facing pointing to the left. So basically it says the right, the letter R will be facing upwards. So just slide in just like that, and then we will be taking the caliper, or the brake caliper, and then installing it right onto these two holes here. It's going to slide right in. So basically it just slides right in, just like that, over both of the pieces, the brake disc and the wheel hub. And then we'll be securing that in place with 2 DS21 screws. So let's go ahead and screw that in. So the brake caliper is plastic, so I'll just tighten it lightly, not to break anything. So as you can see, we've now got the brake disc as well as the wheel hub and the caliper installed. So next we'll be moving on to the control arm, which is this piece right here, and then we will be installing it over onto the front chassis. So for the control arm here, what we will be doing to install it is we'll be installing it to the right side of the front chassis, and then we'll be using these brackets, these plastic brackets right here. There's 2 of them. So we'll be mounting it to these, so it'll be screwed into these 4 tiny holes up on the chassis here, and then we'll be using the DS27 screws to secure it in place. So let's go ahead and screw those in. So as you can see, we got the control arm installed, so just make sure that all the screws are tight. Okay, so now that the control arm is installed, so that is it for stage 21. So we've got the brake disc with the caliper and the wheel hub and the control arm installed on this stage. So now we'll be moving on to stage 23. So in stage 23, we will be assembling the front right suspension. So you can see we have the suspension arm, control arm here, as well as the spring and all the suspension related items. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first step in stage 23 is you'll be taking the lower right control arm. I believe this arm is metal, and then we'll be taking the anti-roll bar connection here, and then we'll be fitting that in place right on this hole here. So basically we'll go in just like that, and then we will be securing that in place with 1 PS31 screw. So as you can see, we'll be screwing it in from the bottom. So I'll go ahead and secure that. So now that the anti-roll bar connection is installed, we will be installing it over to the front chassis, or to the right side of the front chassis. If I could bring that over now. So we'll need to zoom out just a little bit here. So where we attach the upper control arm, we'll be attaching the lower control arm here. So the anti-roll bar connection will be facing to the front side of the chassis. So basically it'll go right into these 2 brackets right here. And then basically we'll be fitting, securing those in place with a pin. So these are the pins. They're small metal pins. There's 4 of them, or 5 of them included in this pack. So we'll be sliding those in. Now for the pins, if we zoom in, I don't know if you can see, but one side does have a series of grooves on it. So the grooved side will be facing outward, so the smooth end of the pin will go in first. So let's go ahead and get that pin installed. So as you can see, now that the pin is in, well, we need to push the pin all the way until it is flush with the bracket. So just like that. And then now we will be doing the same thing to the other side. So the smooth end again on this side will go in first from the other end. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So I don't know if you can see. So we got the pin in. So now we have to push it into place to make it flush with the outside of the bracket. So just like that. Now that we have the bottom or the lower control arm installed here, we will be now installing the shock absorber, which is this red one here. So we'll be installing the circular end of the shock absorber, which is this piece here, right into the control arm, lower control arm here. So it'll basically, this round piece will match with the lower control arm. You can see it's off camera, so just like that. And then we will be now using the same pin again to put the shock absorber in place. So the smooth end will go in first. So if we show you guys, if we turn this around, be attaching the pin right through the hole here, and then it's going to go right through. And then again, we need to make sure that the pin is flush in with the bracket. So we'll just then push it in. Okay, so as you can see, the shock absorber is now installed. So now what we'll be doing is we'll be taking the spring and then putting it right over the shock absorber. So just like that. And then we will be getting the top end of the shock absorber and then sliding that right through the top of the spring. And then from there, we'll be taking the upper control arm here. And then basically it's going to go slide right through, and then the shock absorber is going to fit right into that hole or the gap there. And then again, we will be using the same pin to secure that in place. And then the pin for this one will be going in from the left side. So if we looking up from this direction here, the pin will be entering from this side. So now that we have the pin installed to the top portion of the suspension, we're gonna just make sure that the pin is all the way into the hole. So we'll go ahead and push that in. So as you can see here, now the pin is all the way in right there. Maybe a little bit hard. You may need to either push down or adjust the suspension a little bit in order for the holes to align. Just be careful. There is a gap in behind the plastic suspension mount here. Right behind this hole, there's a gap. I did drop the pin in there and it fell into the behind the suspension mount that we installed previously. So then I had to remove everything out in order to get access to the pin and then put everything back together. So just a word of caution: make sure you don't drop it in there. It will be very hard to take it out without dismantling everything, but just to let you know. So now that we have the suspension installed, what we'll be doing next is we will be taking the right wheel hub with the brake disc and all, and we will be mounting it right here. So basically the this side this will be in the back. This is the will be facing front. So basically it'll be sliding right into that hole there. And then the top will come on just like that, or the top of the control arm. And then we will be securing that in place with a DS24 screws on both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see, now we have assembled the entire front right suspension, from the control arm to the spring to the brake disc caliper and all. So that is it for stage 23. So in pack 3, basically what we did was we installed the oil pan and then the right side of the engine block, and then we installed some of the remaining oil distribution pipes, as well as the fan up here, and then the oil filter, I believe it's the oil filter and everything. And then after that we installed the front chassis and the middle chassis together, as well as then assembled the entire right front suspension, including the brake disc, caliper, and the wheel hub in the back, as you can see here. So that is basically it for pack 3. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.